Wollongong, and formerly referred to as the Gong, is a city located in the Illawarra region of New South Wales, Australia. Wollongong lies on the narrow coastal strip between the Illawarra Escarpment and the Pacific Ocean, 68 kilometers south of central Sydney. Wollongong had an estimated urban population of 302,739 at June 2018, making it the third largest city in New South Wales after Sydney and Newcastle, and the 10th largest city in Australia by population. The city's current Lord Mayor is Gordon Bradbury AM, who was elected in 2018. The Wollongong metropolitan area extends from Helensburgh in the north to Shell Cove in the south. It sits within the Wollongong Statistical District, which covers the local government areas of Wollongong, Shellharbour and Kiama, extending from the town of Helensburgh in the north to Jeroa in the south. Geologically, the city is located in the southeastern part of the Sydney Basin, which extends from Newcastle to Nora. Wollongong is noted for its heavy industry, its port activity and the quality of its physical setting, occupying a narrow coastal plain between an almost continuous chain of surf beaches and the cliffline of the rainforest-covered Illawarra Escarpment. It has two cathedrals, churches of many denominations, and the Nan Tien Temple, the largest Buddhist temple in the southern hemisphere. Wollongong has a long history of coal mining and industry. The city attracts many tourists each year and is a regional center for the South Coast fishing industry. The University of Wollongong has around 38,000 students and is internationally recognized. The name, Wollongong, is believed to mean, Seas of the South, in the local Aboriginal language. Tharawal, referring to NSW's southern coast. Other meanings have been suggested, such as, Great Feast of Fish, Hard Ground Near Water, Song of the Sea, Sound of the Waves, Many Snakes, and Five Islands. The area was originally inhabited by the Tharawal indigenous Australians. The first Europeans to visit the area were the navigators George Bass and Matthew Flinders, who landed at Lake Illawarra in 1796. The first settlers in the region were cedar cutters in the early 19th century, followed by graziers in 1812. Charles Throsby established a stockman's hut in the area in 1815. The first land grants were made in 1816. In 1830, a military barracks was constructed near the harbour. Further settlers arrived and in 1834 a town was planned. On the 26th of November 1834, the town was first gazetted and George Brown erected the first courthouse. The main road down the escarpment through Bully Pass was built by convict labour in 1835-6. Although other passes were built during the 19th century as well, such as O'Brien's Road and Rickson's Pass. By 1856 Wollongong had a population of 864. In 1858, a courthouse was built. In 1861, a horse-drawn tramway from Mount Keira to the harbour was completed. In 1862 a telegraph line was opened between Wollongong and Bellambi. In 1865, the first gas supply in Wollongong was provided from a gas plant in Corrimal Street. In 1868 the extensions to the harbour were opened by Lady Belmore and named Belmore Basin. Patrick Lahiff established a coke works at Wollongong Harbour in the 1870s. He erected two beehive coke ovens between the northeastern end of the basin and Pulpit Rock. The ovens were demolished in 1892. The remains of the coke ovens were uncovered and recovered and are now preserved beneath the hill, with a plaque explaining their history. In 1871, the old lighthouse was completed. In 1880, steam locomotives were introduced to haul coal loads from Mount Keira mine to the harbour. Gas street lighting was introduced in 1883. In 1885, a new courthouse was erected in Market Street. Like many Australian courthouses, it was designed in a classical revival style considered appropriate for public buildings. It is now listed on the Register of the National Estate. In 1886 the first town hall was erected. The Illawarra Railway to Wollongong was completed in 1887, and now continues as far south as the town of Bomaderry on the Shoalhaven River. The navigator George Bass first documented the Illawarra coal deposits in 1797. There have been many coal mines in the district. Australia's worst coal mining disaster occurred in 1902 at the Mount Kembla mine when an explosion killed 94 men and boys. The youngest aged 14, the oldest 69. 2 other men died attempting to rescue survivors. In 1908, the Wollongong District Hospital was established on Garden Hill. In 1916, the Wollongong High School was opened. Heavy industry was attracted to the region by the ready availability of coal. In 1928, Hoskins, later Australian Iron and Steel, started a steelworks at Port Kembla, a few kilometers south of Wollongong. The former Broken Hill Proprietary Company acquired AINS in 1935, but has since spun out their steel division as a separate company, now known as Blue Scope. The steelworks has grown to become a world-class flat row,